What are those lessons we learn without anyone ever actually teaching them to us? Today, we're going to dive into this really short but incredibly powerful piece of writing that gets into one of the biggest ones, this kind of unspoken curriculum of girlhood.
So, right out of the gate, the piece hits you with this. Just let that sit for a second. We're not talking about learning the ABCs or how to form words, right? This is about learning how to use your voice. And it tells you right away, something really important was left out of this education on how to be a girl. Okay, so if it wasn't about learning to speak, then what was the lesson? Well, the writer calls it the lesson of silence. And it's this unspoken curriculum that's still being taught all the time.
And boom, there it is, the flip side of the coin. It's not that she just forgot to learn how to speak up. No, this was an active lesson in staying quiet. And that completely reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? The point wasn't to give you a voice, it was to teach you silence.
So, what does this lesson of silence actually look like? Well, it's kind of like a set of unwritten rules. Things like how to be good, how to be easy, and this one, wow, how to take up less space. And you see, these aren't just about your behavior. They're about your entire being, about making your needs, your wants, your whole presence smaller.
But why? You have to ask, right? Why was this the lesson? And the piece gets into that. It breaks down the logic of how to be small. And it turns out, silence wasn't just random. It was seen as a strategy you needed.
And the main reason? It all comes down to survival. The lesson was basically that speaking up, well, it could be risky. It might cause trouble, get you disapproved of. So staying quiet wasn't just being shy. It was a conscious choice for self-protection. It just felt safer.
And this logic, this idea of being small, it wasn't just about what you said, it was about what you felt too. This idea that your emotions had to be softened, it meant you had to put a filter on your inner world for everyone else, Those big, messy feelings were seen as too much, too loud. You had to dial them way down to be acceptable. And this is really the core of it all. You learn this kind of equation really early on. If I'm agreeable, I'll be lovable. Suddenly, your worth, your ability to be accepted, it all has strings attached. You earn it by being easy, by being quiet, by being small.
Okay, so we've got the rules, we've got the why behind them, but what's the real cost of living like this, long term? Well, the consequence is, it's a heavy one. The writer calls it the slow disappearance.
And this is such a key point. This wasn't like a sudden explosion where you lose yourself. It was quiet, subtle. It happened bit by bit. The kind of change that sneaks up on you, and by the time you realize it's happening, it's kind of already happened. And it all leads to this one really chilling line. I've learned to shrink slowly. That lesson of taking up less space was learned so perfectly that our very self started to contract, to just get smaller and smaller.
But that's not where the story ends. The next part is about something even harder, really. It's the work of unlearning. This slow, really difficult process of trying to get back what you lost.
And that's the real challenge, isn't it? I mean, how do you unlearn something that's so tangled up with your own feelings of safety and being loved? It's not like you can just flip a switch and decide to be louder. These roots run deep, really deep. And the answer we get in this piece, it's just so honest. It's not one of those neat and tidy before and after stories. There's this incredible vulnerability packed into just a few words.
And it leads to this. I'm still unlearning that, which is so powerful because it admits that this journey, this fight to find your voice and take up space, it's not over. It's not a box you can just check off. It's this ongoing day-by-day thing.
So this whole piece, as short as it is, leaves us with this one big question. It takes this one person's story and makes it about all of us, really. It makes you think about your own life, about those quiet lessons we all picked up along the way. And it kind of puts it to you. What lessons are you unlearning?